Hey guys, Spenny here. So I see a very good short-term trade opportunity with Palantir right now. Now, normally I advocate to hold Palantir for the long term. However, there's a great short-term trade opportunity around earnings coming up on May 13th. This is a very good risk versus reward situation that I'm going to present to you guys in today's video, and I'll give you the situations that are likely to play out and how to exactly play this situation for the best risk versus reward. So anyways, before we do get into this video, make sure to drop it a big thumbs up and feel free to subscribe if you guys want to see more content like this. And let's get straight into this video. So like I said, earnings is coming on May 13th. They're anticipating revenue of $332 million and an EPS of 0.04. Now, I think they are going to blow out the revenue estimate. The last revenue surprise was a beat by 21 million. I think we will see something very similar this time as well. In my last video, I talked about how in just the past 4 to 5 months, we've had 16 contracts announced. And a lot of these contracts weren't formally announced by Palantir. So I think that the market and a lot of analysts might not even know about these. At least it's not reflecting in their revenue estimate of 332 million. I think this is actually a very easy beat. Now that's just one part of the trade. Earnings are 3 weeks away and we're gonna beat earnings. Now there's two ways this is gonna play out in my opinion. What we do know is that Palantir has very strong support in the low 20s, between $20 and $23, very strong support. So just below where we're trading right now, we have that strong support. We know that. And also what we know is the stock is very lightly shorted. The short interest is only 3%. Very low for a high growth stock that apparently trades at a high multiple. Mind you, the stock has lost 60% of its value over the last 3 months. So maybe that's why we're at that low short interest. But nonetheless, we don't have many people betting against Palantir now. Very low short interest, meaning there's not a lot of hedgies that want to see this stock go down. Not only that, we can see on MarketBeat, there's been lots of institutional buying. And just in Q2, you can see 51 million bought, 5 million sold. That's a 10x difference. Now I'll explain to you guys why this is such a good risk versus reward right now. Like I said earlier, we have strong support underneath us. We have very low short interest. And we are expecting to beat earnings. So there's a very low probable chance that we are going below 20. However, what we most likely are going to see, and historically in the stock market, what you see most often in these situations, you see the stock run to earnings date. What I'm expecting over the next few weeks until May 13th, we are going to see the stock go on a run. I don't know how high it's going to go. I can't tell you guys the future. I don't have a crystal ball. But I do expect to see probably a 10 to 20% gain over the next few weeks up until earnings. Now, what happens after earnings? That's going to fully depend on this earnings beat. And even if it is an earnings beat, you'll often see a correction in the share price. That is just something that happens in the stock market. It's because that earnings beat is already baked into the share price if we see that massive run that I think we're going to see. Now that's one scenario. Now the second scenario that I could see play out here is that, this depends on the overall market, but let's say the overall market does very terribly the next few weeks and Palantir goes lower. We don't see that run up. Then theoretically, we could go lower to say $20 a share. We still have strong support in this range. I don't think we're going lower than that, but we'd lose around, 10 to 12%, let's say. But because we've done so much due diligence into this stock, we have a very high probable chance that we will beat earnings. On that earnings beat, we will likely surge right back to where we are today. So over the next few weeks, you're really in a win-win situation if you buy right now. If you buy right now, you very well could see a massive surge up to earnings date, or worst case scenario, you see the stock decline if there's an overall market sell-off, but because we know there's likely going to be an earnings beat, we bounce right back to where we are. This is what I call a great risk versus reward situation. Of course, there could always be a black swan event and Palantir just tanks. I can't predict that. That can obviously happen. This is just probabilities and possibilities. Nothing is for sure. This is just me using my experience on how these situations usually play out. Like I said, I expect the stock to run to earnings. And, if you're in this for the short term, that could be a great selling opportunity for you. Or, you could hold it for the long term. It's a great long-term stock. And obviously, like I just explained, on the flip side, if the stock decides to go down the next few weeks, we likely have that earnings beat and you'll make your money right back because the stock should bounce back after that. So that's what I see happening over the next few weeks, guys. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. This could definitely not play out. This is what I'm personally betting on. Do your own research, take your own risk. This is my trading strategy over the next few weeks. Right now is a great time to buy, in my opinion. Now, I will be doing more videos around this earnings trade as the stock chart progresses. Like I said, the next 2 weeks is really going to depend on how I trade this, depending on what the stock price does. So if you guys want to stay up to date to that, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Now, that's all I have for you in today's video. I really appreciate you guys watching until the end, and I'll see you guys on the next video.